an amazing topic like this, mindfulness through yoga, to an amazing audience like yours. I would also like to thank Dr. Ravi Soni sir, the advisor of AICTE, who happens to be my mentor since my school days, who invited me to an amazing platform like ATAL Academy. Moreover, I would also like to thank AICTE and ATAL Faculty Development Program for providing an amazing platform like this, so that I'm able to share my thoughts with an amazingly intelligent crowd like yours and many other colleges crowds. Uh, Now, I was being advised by Tiwari sir that the idea of keeping this yoga session was to help everyone relax a little bit, so that the receptivity of information can be increased. So to start the session, I would like to pray to Saraswati Ma, so that she can bestow her blessings upon me, so that I am able to achieve the goal. So I would like to start my session with Saraswati Vandana. I would request the administrator to mute everyone else until the question answer round. Thank you. And everyone, please feel free to sing along at your own places. It will, in my personal experience, I feel that mantras really help calm ourselves down. So let's proceed with the session. I'm sorry about the delay.
I think please.
Sure,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
या कुन्देन्दु तुषारहार धवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रामृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या कुन्देन्दु तुषारहार धवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रामृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्करा प्रभुधिपि देवै सदा वन्दिता समां पातु सरस्वती भगवते निशेषजाड्यापहा Yoga is essentially a spiritual discipline based on an extremely subtle science which focuses on bringing harmony between the mind and the body. It is an art and science of healthy living. The word yoga is derived from the Sanskrit root yuj, meaning to join or to yoke or to unite. As per the yogic scriptures, the practice of yoga leads to the union of individual consciousness with that of the universal consciousness, indicating a perfect harmony between the mind and body, man and nature. According to modern scientists, everything in the universe is just a manifestation of the same quantum firmament. One who experiences this oneness of existence is said to be in yoga and is termed as a yogi, having attained to a state of freedom referred to as mukti, nirvana, or moksha. Thus, the aim of yoga is self-realization, to overcome all kinds of sufferings leading to the state of liberation. In other terms, moksha or freedom. In other words, kaivalya. Living with freedom in all walks of life, health, and harmony shall be the main objective of yoga practice. Yoga also refers to an inner science comprising of a variety of methods through which human beings can realize this union and achieve mastery over their destiny. Yoga, being widely considered as an immortal cultural outcome of Indus Saraswati Valley civilization, dating back to 2700 BC, has proved itself catering to both material and spiritual upliftment of humanity. Basic human values are the very identity of yoga sadhana. By the end of this workshop, I would like to achieve the 3 simple goals with the help of all of you. First is to provide proper knowledge about yoga. Second is to develop awareness about the Kundalini Yoga. And third is to help the attendees develop a habit of practicing at least the basic yoga asanas on a daily basis for their physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. First, understanding the vast meaning of yoga. For that, we would learn a little bit about the 8 limbs of yogic meditation, which is Rishi Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. In India, more than 2200 years ago, there lived a great sage, a Rishi Patanjali, who compiled and systematized the various meditation practices used at his time, the practices that were already considered ancient at that time. Rishi Patanjali's texts, the Yoga Sutras, became a fundamental scripture for the practice of meditation and is highly regarded even today. His text contains 196 sutras, which are brief and often cryptic Sanskrit aphorisms that are explained in great detail by traditional commentaries. As explained earlier, the word yoga means the union. But what is often overlooked is that it has 2 different functions. One function is to join or unite the mind and the body, the human and nature, and the finite with the infinite. But the second function is to help control an individual, or in other words, to help self-manage an individual. Imagine ropes attached to a yoke, which not only helps control animals' movement, but they also help direct them as and when needed. Rishi Patanjali Sutras are concerned not so much with union, but with control, the control of your body, your breath, your senses, and especially control of your mind, all for the sake of meditation. Here, I would like to replace the word control with manage. So, yoga helps one manage the body, the breath, the senses, and mind. As explained earlier, the word yoga means the union. But what is often overlooked is that it has 2 different functions. One function is to join or unite the mind and the body, the human and nature, and the finite with the infinite. But the second function is to help control an individual, or in other words, to help self-manage an individual. Imagine ropes attached to a yoke, which not only helps control animals' movement, but they also help direct them as and when needed. Rishi Patanjali Sutras are concerned not so much with union, but with control, the control of your body, your breath, your senses, and especially control of your mind, all for the sake of meditation. Here, I would like to replace the word control with manage. So, yoga helps one manage the body, the breath, the senses, and mind. Rishi Patanjali's system of meditation consists of 8 parts, meaning Ashtanga in Sanskrit. So, his system is called Ashtanga Yoga. The word Ang strictly means part, but it's often translated as limb. As a result, the 8 Angas are sometimes depicted as limbs on a tree. Representing the Angas as 3 limbs is suitable only if a key principle is recognized. The 8 Angas are sequential practices. Representing the Angas as 3 limbs is suitable only if a key principle is recognized. The 8 Angas are sequential practices. Representing the Angas as 3 limbs
properly
is
drawn
suitable
tree
only if a key principle is recognized. A properly drawn tree can depict this, showing the first anga at the bottom of the tree and the latter ones at the top. The first anga, yama, consists of prohibitionists against adharmic or unethical deeds. The second ang, niyama, is comprised of injunctions to develop various dharmic virtues. The first two angas direct you to control your behavior. The next three angas, asana, pranayama, and pratyahara, mandate certain kinds of control over your body, your breath, and your senses, respectively. The
Sorry
last
to interrupt you, ma'am. Actually, you have not shared your PPT right now.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay. Are you able to hear the voice?
Yes, yes, the voice is perfect, but the slides are not visible.
I understand. Thank you for letting me know. Okay. Hopefully, it fixes now.
Yes, yes,
a
now it is
properly drawn
visible.
Yeah. Okay.
tree
Yes, yes.
Thank
depict
you.
this, showing the first anga at the bottom of the tree and the latter ones at the top. The first anga, yama, consists of prohibitionists against adharmic or unethical deeds. The second ang, niyama, is comprised of injunctions to develop various dharmic virtues. The first two angas direct you to control your behavior. The next three angas, asana, pranayama, and pratyahara, mandate certain kinds of control over your body, your breath, and your senses, respectively. The last three angas, dharana, meaning concentration, dhyan, meditation, and samadhi, meaning absorption, mandate specific practices to control your mind. So, these 8 angas help you to cultivate the skills required for meditation by teaching you how to control your body, breath, senses, and your mind. Let's examine each of the angas very briefly. There are 5 yamas that prohibit 5 kinds of adharmic behaviors. Ahimsa prohibits causing harm to any living being. Satya prohibits lying. Asteya prohibits stealing. Brahmacharya prohibits inappropriate sex. And aparigraha prohibits possessiveness. In addition to the 5 yamas, there are 5 niyamas that mandate the cultivation of dharmic virtues. Shaucha mandates purity of body and mind. Santosha mandates contentment and forbearance. Tapas mandates spiritual disciplines like fasting. Swadhyaya maintains spiritual study. And Ishwar Paridhan mandates prayer and worship. Yamas and niyamas are followed to develop a lifestyle that effectively supports your practice of meditation. Now, how do these prohibitions on injunctions help you meditate? Well, a dharmic behavior tends to create conflict and stress in life by resisting and opposing commonly accepted moral standards. So, following the 5 yamas help you live a conflict-free life that is conducive to meditation. Following the 5 niyamas help you acquire attitudes, and qualities that are crucial in preparing your mind for meditation. The third ang, the asanas or postures, are the primary focus of most yoga practices today. In yoga studios around the world, various kinds of asanas, some of them quite complex, are taught and practiced with great enthusiasm, but they are often practiced with little or no attention to the other seven angas. Even though asanas can definitely help one achieve better mental state, we must expand our horizon to other seven angas of Yoga Sutra as well. Asanas help one attain a healthy, strong, and flexible body. Asana practice is meant to prepare your body for lengthy meditation sessions. But to practice asanas without meditating later, as is done in many yoga studios today, is like preparing an amazing meal but to leave the complete food without tasting it. The fourth ang, pranayama, is the use of breathing exercises to further prepare your body and mind for meditation. The ancient yogis discovered a physiological principle that's well known to modern medical science. That is, your breath and your central nervous system are closely connected. When you are stressed out or feeling anxious, your breathing naturally becomes rapid and shallow. On the other hand, when you are calm and relaxed, your breathing slows down and grows deeper. Your nervous system affects your breathing, and in the same way, your breathing affects your nervous system. Rapid, shallow breathing stimulates your nervous system, whereas slow, deep breathing calms it down. Many pranayama techniques exploit this physiological connection to calm your nervous system by deliberately slowing and deepening your breath. The fifth ang, pratyahara, means sense withdrawal. Well, sometimes it's impossible to find a perfect solitary place to meditate. So, it is important to develop the ability to withdraw your senses, especially your sense of hearing, so that you won't be distracted. Unfortunately, there is no on-off switch for your senses yet. But when you are deeply absorbed in some activity, like when you are working on a demanding project, you might not hear someone nearby calling your name. By concentrating your attention on something, your attention is simultaneously withdrawn from your other senses. Your power of attention is like a flashlight with a lens that can be adjusted to cast a very wide beam or a very narrow one. Generally, your attention is widely focused, allowing you to perceive what is happening all around you. This ability is immensely valuable most of the time, like when you are driving a car. But when you sit to meditate, a wide scope of attention will make you more susceptible to distractions. Fortunately, like the adjustable flashlight, your attention can also be narrowly focused. At night, whatever falls outside a narrow flashlight beam is covered by darkness and can't be seen. In the same way, whatever falls outside your narrowly focused attention can no longer distract you. So, the secret to pratyahara, a sense withdrawal, is to concentrate your attention, and that very concentration happens to be Yoga Sutra's sixth ang, Dharana. Dharana is concentrating your attention on an object of meditation. You can concentrate on many things, on the sound Om, on a mantra, on your breathing, on a sacred image or a candle flame, or as prescribed in Bhagavad Gita, you can concentrate your attention on the divine presence within you. You are free to choose an object of meditation that appeals to you, an object that's well suited to your individual needs or inclination. When your practice of dharana matures, you can reach a state in which your mind becomes absolutely one-pointed, completely free from distractions and focused only on your object of meditation, without any other thoughts intervening. This state is the seventh ang of yoga, dhyan. Dhyan is defined as a steady, uninterrupted flow of identical thoughts. The regular practice of dhyan will eventually lead you to the eighth and final ang, samadhi, or absorption. During dhyan, you remain as a meditator, quite separate from the object you are meditating upon. But as your meditation deepens, the sense of distance between you and the object of meditation gradually diminishes until finally there is no distance whatsoever. You experientially merge into the object of meditation, becoming utterly non-separate from it. This is the state of absorption, the state of samadhi. Note that samadhi is not a state of thoughtlessness, because the object of meditation remains in your mind as an unchanging, unwavering thought. However, samadhi is a state in which your experience of any kind of duality comes to an end. In samadhi, there is no distinction between knower and known, between you and the world. All becomes one. This extremely brief overview of the eight angas is not at all sufficient to properly guide your ongoing practice of meditation. However, it can definitely help you make sense of the sometimes baffling plethora of meditation practices and techniques being taught today. It is important to understand that in addition to practices based on the eight angas, there are other meditation practices and traditions that are completely different from the system of yoga that we have discussed here so far. Some meditation traditions incorporate devotional stories to help you develop intense feelings of love and admiration for the divine. In meditation, your attention is directed towards a particular deity or towards the divinity residing within yourself. It is important to understand that in addition to practices based on the eight angas, there are other meditation practices and traditions that are completely different from the system of yoga that we have discussed here so far. Some meditation traditions incorporate devotional stories to help you develop intense feelings of love and admiration for the divine. In meditation, your attention is directed towards a particular deity or towards the divinity residing within yourself. Which of these meditation trends Rishi Patanjali calls that goal Kaivalya, which literally means onlyness. Kaivalya is remaining as yourself, as your true, pure nature, as unborn, unchanging, all pervasive consciousness, which is utterly independent of anything and everything that can cause suffering. Your diligent practice of yoga's 8 angas can lead you towards this greatest of goals. Coming back to our agenda, let's move on to the next topic, which is to develop awareness about the Kundalini Yoga. As discussed earlier, Kundalini Yoga is one of the most complex yet extremely important type of yoga in my personal opinion. Though we can't cover that topic much in detail today, considering the vastness and sensitivity of that topic, combined with the limited time that we have for the workshop today. However, in order to develop awareness about Kundalini, I would like to present a video which would definitely give all of you some idea about Kundalini Yoga.
Kundalini is spiritual energy, the energy of consciousness.
Is an evolutionary force.
Everything in the universe is energy, and the human body is no exception.
It's not just some people. We all have this energy within us that is waiting.
Manifesting as this scintillating blue light, inner light. And with my eyes closed, I could see over my head just a pulse of energy that felt really incredibly hot. It just raced up.
Ultimately, I managed to keep my attention at the crown of my head, while the energy rose upward and upward.
If you were to put that side by side with Gopi Krishna's description of his Kundalini awakening, they are both saying the same thing.
And people who have awakened Kundalini, they may go through some of these postures quite spontaneously.
That spinal sweep where the energy starts from the base of the spine and sweeps up and out the top of the head of the person.
The energy, when it moves in you, starts to tune you up.
We are co-creating our life with an energy that is so much wiser than we are.
Why has information about Kundalini not spread to the mainstream yet? What is needed to recognize this power within you? This secret has been kept hidden for centuries. However, Kundalini is within every human, a resource of energy that, when fully awakened, allows us to reach our full potential with joy, peace, and unconditional love.
Hopefully that gave you some better idea about Kundalini Yoga. Moving on to the next topic, as promised, that I would help all of you to develop a habit of practicing at least the basic yoga asanas on a daily basis for your physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. Let's proceed further to that. After much consideration for the ease of following multiple asanas on a daily basis and to obtain maximum benefit in the minimum time, I've come to conclusion that there can only be one asana combination, which is Surya Namaskar. Now, since everyone listens to Modi ji, I would like to take Modi ji's help here to say a little about Surya Namaskar in terms of techniques as well as its benefits. So please pay attention to the next video carefully, as we'll actually be doing Surya Namaskar during this workshop today after Modi ji's video. So next is Modi ji's video on Surya Namaskar.
Surya Namaskar. Surya, or sun, is a source of energy for all living beings inhabiting Earth. Surya Namaskar helps in the harmonious development of our body, keeping our mind focused and sharpening our intelligence. Surya Namaskar is considered to be important for our spiritual development. Surya Namaskar consists of a set of 8 yogic postures performed in a sequence of 12 steps. Practicing it at the time of sunrise and sunset is considered to be most beneficial. Stand straight with both the feet together without drooping your shoulders. Ensure that your arms are by the side of the body and your chin is parallel to the ground. Balance the body equally on both the feet. This is Samastiti. To do the first step, while inhaling, bring the palms in front of the chest and join them together in the Namaskara mudra. This is called Pranam Asana. Now exhale. Second step. While breathing in slowly, stretch your body from waist up. Raising both your hands up above your head, bend your head and waist backwards. Keep your legs straight. This asana is called Hasta Uttanasana. Now for the third step. Slowly breathe out and bend your body forward till both palms touch the floor on either side of your feet. Remember that while bending down, both your arms and head are together. This asana is called Padhastasana. Fourth step. In this step, while taking a deep breath, take your right leg back and rest your knee on the floor. Ensure that the right leg is on your toes. Knee of your left leg is at an angle of 90 degrees. Both your palms are on the floor. Your hips are down and the chin is up. This is called Ashwasanchalan Asana. In the fifth step, while breathing out, take your left leg back in such a way that it's in line with your right leg. Ensure that your hands and shoulders are in a straight line, and your shoulders, back, and hips are also in a straight line. This asana is called Santulan Asana. In this position, slowly breathe in. Sixth step, exhale slowly. Keep both your knees on the floor at the same time, and also place your chest and forehead on the floor. Ensure that your hips are up and your elbows are close to your body. This asana is called Shastanga Namaskara because 8 parts of your body, namely both the toes of your feet, both the knees, both the palms, chest and forehead are in contact with the floor. Remember that the body weight is equally distributed on all these 8 parts. Now for the 7th step. While breathing in, take your pelvis down and slide your head and chest forward. And lift the upper section of your body till the navel. Ensure that the toes of your feet are pointing outwards and the legs are straight. This asana is called Bhujangasana. 8th step. While slowly breathing out, take your toes inwards. Raise your hips up to the point so that your body takes the shape of a mountain. Ensure that both your legs are straight, palms on the floor, and head is in between your arms. Try to touch your heels to the floor. This asana is called Parvata Asana. For the 9th step, bring your hips down and while breathing in, bring your right leg forward. Keep the knee of your left leg on the floor and go back to Ashwasanchalam Asana. 10th step. In this step, bring your left leg also forward and while breathing out, come back to Padhastasana. 11th step. While breathing in slowly, raise your body. Take both your hands up and go back to the Hasta Uttanasana. Ensure that while coming up, your arms and head come up at the same time. 12th step. While slowly breathing out, stand straight again in Pranam Asana. Now repeat the whole sequence with your left leg. Surya Namaskar increases the capacity of your lungs. Surya Namaskar improves metabolism and is found to be very useful in the management of diabetes. Surya Namaskar regulates the secretions of endocrine glands. Surya Namaskar helps to manage your weight and helps to strengthen your spine and back muscles. People suffering from high blood pressure should take precautions while doing Surya Namaskar. People suffering from hernia and peptic ulcer should avoid doing Surya Namaskar. Patients suffering from sciatica, cervical spondylitis, and also acute arthritis should avoid doing Surya Namaskar. Women should avoid doing Surya Namaskar during their monthly menstrual cycle and also during pregnancy. Regular practice of Surya Namaskar helps in detoxification of your body, removes laziness, thus revitalizing the entire body.
So we will be performing techniques and details provided by Modi ji in the previous video to gain the maximum benefit out of the Surya Namaskar. There are 12 names of Surya Dev. The way it goes is we recite each name of Surya Dev and then perform the entire cycle of asanas, and then we recite the second name of Surya Dev and likewise. All the precautions must be taken as explained in the previous video in order to perform Surya Namaskar without creating any problems. So please follow accordingly. Now, for the ease of remembering, we can count until 10. I'll show you how very soon. So we can divide the asanas into 10 and recite each one of them. Instead of 12, we can recite like count 1 to 10 so that we remember each asana. So basically we will be not counting the transitioning yogas. So the counting would be until 10. But there would be 12 names of Surya Dev. I'm not sure if all of you would be comfortable doing it 12 times or would like me to reduce it to 3 to 5 times. Please let me know. I think to go easy on all of you, I would like to keep it 3 times so that that's enough to build a habit, but it's not over. And trust me, even though the combination of Surya Namaskar might look very simple, but it has tremendous benefits. And I have seen so many people benefiting in multiple different ways. It has helped people cure diseases, reduce weight and whatnot. So all the benefits that were explained previously, those truly are the miracles are so true. It's not at all exaggerated. That's what I would like to emphasize here. Moreover, I would like to add one more point to the video's content, and that is if the Surya Namaskar is performed without having developed any problems in the body, that itself will keep you really healthy, and it will keep you away from any diseases. So there are tremendous benefits of Surya Namaskar. So let's move on to the technical aspect of Surya Namaskar directly without wasting any further time. So let's get started.
Sorry about that. Oh my God. Yeah, that's what it is.
So we will be performing techniques and details. So we will be performing techniques and details provided by Modi ji in the previous video to gain the maximum benefit out of the Surya Namaskar. There are 12 names of Surya Dev. The way it goes is we recite each name of Surya Dev and then perform the entire cycle of asanas.
So let's get started with the Surya Namaskar.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, sure. Sorry about this glitches. I'm really sorry about that. Om Suryay Namaha. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Om Raviye Namaha. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, other leg, 8, 9, 10. Om Bhaskaraya Namaha. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm not sure if I should continue. It's difficult to get a virtual idea of how is it going at every one of your ends. So I would really appreciate if you give me some inputs so that if I know if you would like to continue doing it for a few more times, or would you like me to wrap up the workshop so that we can have a question answer round.
I think anyone have any kind of query? I think most of us, we know about the Surya Namaskar,
That's
or
right, sir.
maybe some of us are already practicing it. I don't know if
Absolutely.
any.
That would be awesome, sir.
So if anyone
Sir,
have any kind of query, or
before, I'm so sorry to interrupt. I do have few more slides to go over, if you don't
please,
mind.
please,
Thank you so
please.
much. Thank you. In the end, I would like to reiterate that being able to maintain the state of mindfulness itself is being in the state of yoga. So, through whatever practices, either the ones that I have mentioned here, or if you have your own system that makes you capable of being in the state of mindfulness, then that is yoga. And I would genuinely appreciate and encourage one to continue practicing such thing, whatever practice makes him or her mindful, that makes the person capable of being in the present, uh, in whatever activity he or she is doing. Here I am sharing a part of my book on practicing mindfulness, which I would like to go over some of the content of it to reiterate the idea of mindfulness. Uh, Nowadays, people take yoga mostly as the physical posture, but or asanas, as I explained earlier. However, it is way beyond than just the point of exercise. So mindfulness in order to understand a little bit more about mindfulness, if you don't mind me going over some details of my book, uh, it hopefully it will give all of you a little bit of idea or better idea about mindfulness, or at least a newer perspective. As Bhagwan Gautam Buddha said, do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future, concentrate the mind on the present moment. He also said that the way is not in the sky, the way is in the heart. I personally feel that happiness is an interior work, and it is closely connected with the capability of being able to be mindful. Mindfulness is the practice of maintaining a non judgmental state of heightened or complete awareness of one's thoughts, emotions, or experiences on a moment to moment basis. Whenever you bring complete awareness to what you are directly experiencing via all your senses, and to your state of mind via your thoughts and emotions, you are being mindful. The goal of mindfulness is to wake up to the inner workings of our mental, emotional, and physical processes. Do you know that each one of us experience the life and world in general quite differently? Based on how mindful you are, what you pay attention to will make all the difference in what you experience and at what level you experience. As I mentioned earlier, I personally practice yoga and meditation to sharpen my mindfulness capabilities. To reiterate my previously explained point, yoga is a way to attain this state. Practicing mindfulness helps you relinquish judgments and unravel your mind to approach experiences with warmth, kindness, and more attention to ourselves and others. Thus, you'll be more welcoming to the new experiences of life rather than resisting them. Your life will become then very beautiful. Moreover, being mindful will drastically improve your efficiency in everything you do. You will be able to learn new things quickly and easily after you start practicing mindfulness. Yoga is just one method to help you achieve mindfulness quickly. Also, it will bring you all the answers that you seek. It will help you make decisions consciously rather than on autopilot mode, which would be mindless decision making. Uh, Not at all trying to exaggerate, but I do see a lot of people these days running on the autopilot mode, which is the very reason why I decided to spread a little awareness about the whole topic that I presented today. Practicing mindfulness will also make you more self aware, thus, helping you become a better, wiser individual. All this will help you manage stress, thus, enhancing your overall well being. A string of recent research suggests that regular meditation practices may boost mental flexibility and focus, offering very powerful protection against cognitive decline, which usually happens with aging. Mindfulness helps us put some space between ourselves and our reactions, breaking down our conditioned responses or habituated responses, hence, making one a better overall human being, elevating all of their other values. As you spend time practicing mindfulness, You will also find yourself feeling kinder, calmer, and more comfortable with yourself. It will all bring more playfulness within you. All this will increase your happiness drastically. These shifts in your experiences are likely to generate positive changes in your overall health as well as in your external realities. A few tips would include observe the moment as it is. The aim of mindfulness is not to quiet the mind or attempting to suppress the thoughts. The goal is simple. We are aiming to pay attention to the present moment without judgment. You can totally relate this practice with vipassana, which I mentioned in one of my slides. Uh, it is so much more easier said than done. Uh, Kindness and more attention to ourselves and others is not that easy to achieve. Thus, you'll be more welcoming after being more mindful to the new experiences of life. Moreover, being mindful will drastically improve your efficiency in everything you do. Practicing mindfulness, I think uh, I think observe. I'm repeating this. I'm sorry about that. But mainly practicing mindfulness regularly will make you feel quite elevated and clearer in terms of what is right and what is wrong. So it is definitely worth practicing through yoga, through breathing exercises, which are pranayama. India is a rich culture with amazingly abundant knowledge in the yogic sciences. So definitely, we don't need to go anywhere else in order to find our answers. With this, I would just like to reiterate the idea that it's time that we should start teaching yogic practices at schools in India. For that, we would have to start practicing ourselves. So, in terms of bringing knowledge about yoga, clearly I am not the first one. There have been lakhs of people from our country who have gone a long way in this journey. However, I wanted to do a little step further towards bringing awareness about the whole idea. With this, I would like to finish my workshop. I hope that you all enjoyed, and more so, I would be more than happy to take any questions that any of you might have. I would also like to share a few of my other works with all of you. These are a few of my books which I ended up writing this year after having some amazing inner experiences within me. Um, I was never an author, like a published author, I would say. I used to love writing for so long, but I never thought that I would end up writing the books. But the inner gesture suggested me to do this, and here I am. I started my journey as a technical person, as an engineer, and I ended up in the well-being area, which is yogic practices and writing about spirituality and self-help topics. I do also have some workshops which are directed to bringing inner awareness again. And it would be my privilege if uh, any of you would like to connect with me on social media. I would be more than happy to receive any areas of improvements or any criticism. My ultimate goal is to attain my perfect self. So I would really appreciate all of your inputs. And with this, thank you so very much for listening to my little presentation. And I would be more than happy to take questions if any of you have now.
So it's a really nice presentation, and I hope everyone enjoyed it.
Thank you,
And
sir.
we feel a little lighter to have very tough technical sessions. So I hope everyone is going to practice the Surya Namaskar every day in the morning and evening.
Absolutely, sir. So, sir, I would like to say a few points because I had uh, a mixed culture that at least that was the idea I had, and I really wanted to uh, help people establish uh, the reminder that they should be practicing at least Surya Namaskar. Everyone in India would be knowing what Surya Namaskars are, but very few people actually practice them. So the idea is just to bring awareness, and that's why I kept really simple set of yogas and no hatha yoga or complex yogas, so that people would feel complex that oh I cannot do this. The idea is to maintain consistency. So I hope the goal has been achieved here.
Yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed it. And if anyone have any kind of question and he would like to ask, please go ahead.
Ma'am, is Fazan here. So
Hi, Faizan.
yeah, ma'am, actually, any yogi guru you follow? Like,
So, unfortunately, as a kid, I never got a chance to get trained under a proper human yogi, but I did follow Iyengar's yogic books. I have finished multiple books by Iyengar, and after going over his books, there was no possibility that I could follow any other human yogi. So,
okay,
yes, I would say Iyengar.
okay, okay, ma'am. There's one another question. Like, mindfulness meditation just teaches us like concentrating on one topic at a time. Like,
Right.
is there any way that we can, because a lot of people practice different, they can do things different things at a time, like they practice it also.
Multitasking.
So, multitasking, that you can say.
Right.
So can it be achieved by this mindfulness awareness? Because it I think it teaches like doing one thing at a time.
Right. But so I'll share one of my experiences. As a
Okay,
kid, I really wanted to be a great multitasker. But
okay,
after practicing over and over and over, and especially during the crunch time, it is very crucial that you have to multitask. But if you fine tune your lens and then see look at the thing, then you would realize that at a time you can actually only do one thing in that 1 second. You are
okay,
exactly just doing one thing. If you are doing two major tasks, for example, if you are cooking simultaneously and I am working on the laptop here, then yes, but the two tasks are happening at the same time, which would require a little bit of organization in my head, and some practice would be required too in order to learn the act of organization or management of tasks. But in that moment you are only doing one task at a time. I cannot uh, keep my brain in my work and in cooking. So, especially if you are trying to do a lot of creative work, you can only do one thing at a task at a time.
at a time.
So, right, what other uh, way would be attachment with detachment? That would be the closest thing that would be appropriate in order to achieve expertise in multitasking. That if you can constantly develop the habit of attachment with detachment very quickly, then you can multitask well.
Okay,
Am I
okay.
coming close, or if you
No, no,
disagree, let me know.
yeah, 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 you have explained it. Uh, just I just want to know that at what level of meditation you are. I mean, there are different levels like vipassana and uh, there is a level like in moksha also. People say that is it
Right.
possible that the soul just uh, mm, is taken out from that body. That is the last step of like uh,
I
meditation.
understand.
Is it possible like?
So, to be very honest, I can only say as much as I have practiced. So, I have not practiced the state of samadhi.
Okay.
I have heard people having gone through the state of samadhi and they have attained self death. They say without actual physical, not in the sense of suicide, but through spiritual awakening. I have heard that, but there are no incidences that I know in person. Um, uh, and I don't intend to become a saint eventually. I want
Mhm.
to be present in the social life too, but practicing yoga and having a yogic mindset definitely helps me perform better in even the social life or in normal life, even at the corporate life, because someone with no practice of mindfulness and no practice of attachment with detachment, both are the results of ultimately practicing a lot of yoga methods, any one out of the 8 ones that I explained. uh, so basically yoga would help you become this, or if you are already there, then you are already in the state of yoga. That's how I perceive. And coming back to my previous point that I was about to put, that someone who has a yogi mindset would definitely perform better at the workplace or in studies, uh, and in because we all face failures on a daily basis. It's just that yesterday's failures become normal tomorrow. That's why we learn to take it lightly. But unless and until the person starts becoming stagnant, we all are facing failures on a daily basis. That's the only way one can progress. And in order to continue facing newer challenges, you would need to develop that rigidity, that in worse words, but in good words, a stability, that nothing can change your mindfulness, your state of well-being, or your happy state. And by being in the happy state, you actually tend to be more creative. You can troubleshoot problems easily, quickly, and
Okay.
with fun. So yoga in general would help even normal people lead lives better.
Okay.
that's
Thank you.
that's my opinion.
Thank you very much for that explanation. It's very nice presentation.
Thank you, I am glad you liked it.
Sanjay, you have a question?
Yes, hello, ma'am. Sanjay here.
Hello
Ma'am,
Sanjay, how are you?
I'm fine, ma'am. Actually, ma'am, I have tried doing yoga a lot of time, but I couldn't continue with it. And
Right.
I heard people saying that if you practice it for continuous 21 days, that will become a habit. But even after that, performing it even for a month or 2 months, even after that, I ended up waking up late in the morning. So, are there any ways to have control over that?
So Sanjay, thank you for first of all being super honest about whatever is happening with
Thank
you
you, ma'am. Thank
regarding
you.
a new habit building. I would say your problem is determination and not yoga. Am I right?
Yes, I can. I can consider that.
So like we all have one or the other types of flaws, I feel, and we are all trying to overcome one flaw at a time, right?
Right.
So if you if one area shows that you have lack of determination, it will clearly reflect in other aspect of your life sooner or later, or maybe you are capable of suppressing it from external point of view, but you know what is the truth. Am I right?
Right, ma'am.
Yeah, that usually happens. So the idea is, if you, it's like if we want to get rid of COVID, we need to make sure that not even a single case is left of COVID. So it has to be completely clean. So the habit has to be completely established. So coming back to your concern and providing the best solution, I would feel the best way I could put it as having the sense of self respect will fix your problem. Unless and until you don't feel yourself responsible for whatever you are doing, you will not be able to develop the sense of strong determination. The moment you feel that is my laziness or inconsistency so much more bigger than my true soul, that and the answer would always come, no, my soul is bigger and everything else is smaller, and that's when you would start becoming more determined. And in general, people say a lot of things that within 21 days you can do this, within 64 days you can do this. There is no formula for those who don't want to do. So the first step is the willingness, and willingness generates from within. And self-respect is the first thing, and that comes from self-discovery, by knowing yourself, who you are, what you want, what are your goals, what is your life purpose. So it's a big journey, long journey. People take years to get there, but at least getting started is important. So if I'm not wrong, sorry, I mentioned I gave my answer in terms of a slightly psychological point of
That
view.
was fine. That was fine.
But yeah, I felt that this was not related to yoga, and I really wanted to help you there. So I hope I did.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Yes,
you.
thank you, ma'am.
So any other question, please? Even though if anyone have a question, even later on, you may write your question to
Absolutely.
us, and I'll forward to Payal, and I hope she will certainly answer the question. So, Upen, do you want to ask any question? You
I'm sorry,
are.
we cannot hear you.
And that is very silly question. Actually, we are
Please.
most of the time we are sit. Most
You
of the
said,
time we are only
right,
sitting
right.
people. So, is there any yogasan for that particular in that mode?
So I actually kept that in mind before proposing Surya Namaskar. A lot of times, what we already know, we don't tend to value it as much. But this is one of the simplest things, which, so there are three things you need: either knowledge, uh, system, or habit, right? So you already have knowledge, I assume. Am I right, Dr.
Yes,
Upendra?
yes, yes. Okay.
You have knowledge about Surya Namaskar. So your first step is cleared. So you are already in the intermediate level now. Then you just have to develop a system. So I think try with Surya Namaskar. Trust me for a few days. If that helps you in back pain or feeling
No, no.
energized or not.
Actually, my question is different. Actually, most of the time we are sit. So, is there
Right.
yoga for the sitting mode or because in office or in, actually?
Oh, I see what you mean. You want to know the yoga asans which you can do while at office, while you're
Yes,
sitting.
yes, yes.
Yes, so there are yoga sanas. I'm not sure if your office has a yoga room or not. Here, most of the offices have a gym and yoga room now. So people can go and stretch there. But
Yes.
I think uh, just stretching your body would be the best and the best solution so that we don't look quite awkward in office and still manage our well-being. That's a little bit of um, question of ergonomics. Yeah, that's the science, I believe they name it as the science of posture, and adjusting seats and everything so that your posture is good. So I think nowadays, since all most of us work on computer, we need to unwind the steadiness
Okay.
uh, in one way or the other. I personally just do yoga, and I work out, I go out for run. In the other time, I honestly don't get time myself to stretch myself doing work hours. So I'm sorry, I don't really have much answer unless and until.
No, no, no. I got your point.
Right.
Okay. Actually, the presentation is very nice. And, we will try
Thank
to do Surya Namaskar in.
Right. I'm sorry. There were glitches, and Tiwari sir, to be very honest, I thought I will have to ultimately give you the recorded version, which is why my voice was recorded. And thank you for being an amazing audience. I loved the questions too. If anyone else has any more questions, I would be more than happy to answer them too.
Yeah, please. Anyone have any question, please? Actually, sometimes we have all the facilities, we have all the environment, we have all the nature, but
Right.
we have to break our inertia and come out of that.
Yes, yes.
And
Attachment with detachment, sir.
so that's very important for all of us.
Absolutely, sir.
So it is little unfortunate that this is a COVID time that we are doing this all the activity in online mode. Otherwise, normally the workshops are mostly it should be the offline mode. So everyone sit together at one point and practice all those things, and that way
Right, sir.
it's better. So I hope in future sometime this kind of workshop will happen, and we will all the participant dignitaries and all collected one place. Our campus is also very good. It's very green one, and I'm
I
suggesting,
saw the picture, sir.
yeah, it's
It's
very good.
beautiful.
Yeah. So I hope maybe in future we'll do that, and we'll do in a better way in a offline mode also.
Thank you so much, sir. For now, I feel lucky that I got an opportunity to connect with people all the way in India, sitting here in Canada, through virtual mode. So I think I'm lucky that there's whatever the situation is, it is working in my favor currently.
Yeah, yeah. So thank you again, and sorry we have waken up you in the morning, early morning, because
Not
of
at
this.
all, sir. Actually, thank you very much. Sir, if nobody has any questions, I would like
Yeah,
to add one more point, which I did not include in my
please.
workshop. If I believe we have some time, do we? Or
Yeah, yeah, we have you. Please, we have
I
time.
won't take more than 5 minutes. So,
Yeah,
sir, I deliberately mentioned the point of Kundalini, which a lot of people don't mention. There are multiple high level yogic organizations running worldwide, but none of them mention about Kundalini. If they mention, they just provide knowledge. I think we need to get started on teaching how to awaken the Kundalini. And if you look at the scriptures of any religion, Jewish, Islam, Hinduism, even Christianity, all of Sikhism, Jainism, even if I am living any, even Buddhism, they all have mentioned the importance of awakening Kundalini. So, the existence of cobra or snake or any similar form, or the pictorial presentation which has been depicted in various religions, they all signify that this is one thing which all of us need to do, which nobody talks about. So, yes, I'm just mentioning it again and again, the same thing, but I think we need to slightly change the perspective about things. And if we start getting more curious and with a new learning approach, then we can speed up the civilization process in much more faster way. So even though I'm talking to most of the engineers, I felt that this important point has to go across um, the engineering colleges, so that anyone who gets started on this journey would be a big achievement for me, I feel, at this moment. And that would speed up the civilization, human civilization in general,
I th-
drastically.
yeah, I think it would be a nice idea to have such thing in our institutions. But what happens normally, most of the students, when they have started preparing for engineering examinations, they will have in their mind that they have to go for a higher placements. And even from 12th class, all the family members, their parents, they started doing like
I've
that.
been there,
And
sir.
when they entered to the this examination like JE, and they came to the IIT, they start thinking, okay, how much is the placement? So after getting that, they never thought about, after few 20 15 years later, when they started and they got a lot of money, they start thinking, oh, what I am doing. So
Right, sir.
then they realize कि अरे ये क्या हो गया, अब हमको तो कुछ और करना चाहिए था, but they never practiced it. So it became little late for them also for practicing all those things, because at
Right.
that time detachment is very tough.
I
The term
agree.
you used, attachment and detachment, so little later on in life, detachment is really very tough. So I think Kundalini is basically a state of yogic kriya. So it will be experienced only, it cannot be
I agree.
teach to anyone. So if you have to go to the state level, was one state, second state, third state, Kundalini is the at higher level, and if anyone who have experience is, he can only taught you. Okay, and
That is true.
it's very sharp also. If you are going to move little bit away from that, it will be not good for you.
I agree.
So
I agree, sir.
this what I understood.
Absolutely, sir. But
So
sir, I'm sure we would have people who are already enlightened, and they can definitely come and save the world. But we need to shout out for help, which I am doing here, I feel. And I'm shamelessly asking for help to whoever is awakened. Whatever I know, I will keep spreading. Whatever others know, I would keep learning. That's my approach, and that's it, sir. I hope I didn't take much time by mentioning this new
No,
thing.
that's really good discussion, because now we are discussing something different from our routine discussion in technical word.
Right, sir.
So I hope you and us also, we have to search these kind of people, if we will find somewhere sometime, and we will
Absolutely.
start practicing at that time, and perhaps we
Right,
will get someone. Yeah.
right, sir.
So let's thank to Payal, because she has taken us from normal routine work to some other word, and it's really good one.
Thank you so very much, sir. Thank you for being an amazing audience. And once again, Tiwari sir, thank you for giving me an amazing opportunity to present my ideas in front of this audience. And thank you, all of you, for listening to me and for seeing a little bit of my world. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you. Namaste.
Namaskar.